Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a review of the Coyote Tango Jaeger from Series 3 of NECA's Pacific Rim line. If you don't recognize this Jaeger, it's because it was in the movie for like 5 seconds. It's Stecker Pentecost's Jaeger from the flashback scene. Now, even though this thing is barely in the movie, when I saw this at Corner Store Comics, I said, holy sweet goddamn, I gotta get that, because that is one cool looking Jaeger action figure. And I'm really glad I did, because it's got some really sweet articulation. Aside from the little ball joint at the legs, which allows it to swing out a little bit and come forward and back, is the fact that it's got a thigh cut. Very rarely do these Jaegers have thigh cuts, so that's pretty cool. It's got the basic knee joint. It's got an ankle joint hidden in the top section of this. That's where the ankle joint is. It's a ball joint. And it's got a ball joint right at the waist there. But what I really dig is the arm articulation. I'll show you why. Not only does it have a ball joint, which is actually kind of limited at the shoulder, but it has a bicep cut. That's awesome. You don't see any of the Jaegers with a bicep cut, so that's cool. And then it's got the basic elbow joint. And then the wrist is impressive too. A lot of the Jaegers have just a basic hinge for the wrist that move one way. This is a double ball joint. It's got a ball at the top and a ball here, so you're rocking two different ball joints, so I think that's awesome. It's also got a ball jointed head. It's got a limited range of motion within the shoulder area, but still it looks really cool. And lastly, the most awesome articulation, the cannons come forward. How rad is that? The sculpt on this figure is nice, especially when you see all the little grooves that make up the chest area. But one of the things I really like is the paint on this. And it's not super showy and flashy, but there is some really good stuff worth noting. Most of all, I gotta say, it's the brown paint that they used all along the gray area to give it kind of a rusty or a muddy, I'm not sure what, but it definitely gives it like a used, worn-in look, and I dig that. I think they did a good job sculpting the knee areas too, and these little vents on his thighs, but it's when you see these little red highlights. It's simple, but it is effective, and I do like it. Other thing worth noting as far as the paint goes is the little US Air Force logos, the numbering, and this really tiny little paint on his arms. And I think they did a really good job with the cockpit area. You can see all the little blue stuff is perfectly within the sculpted lines, so I think that turned out great. And I also like this. I like the little artwork with the brown, rusting and dirt all over it. I'll give you guys a closer look at even the brown right on there, and just like the sculpting of these grooves. There's a really good work going on here, especially in the back. You can see all the gack going on there. I think it looks really good. I'm very impressed by the sculpt of this figure. I thought Cherno Alpha was my favorite Jaeger in this toy line, but I take it back. Coyote Tango is my favorite. It's got really good articulation, I think the best of all the ones so far. It's got a really, really great design, and those shoulder-mounted cannons are awesome. Thanks for watching.